Making the headlines tonight. Prime Minister Hun Sen shares three main factors to the achievement of peace in Cambodia. The Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces meets with the Minister of Defense of the Republic of India during the ASEAN Defense Ministers' meetings in Siem Reap. And the Chaktamuk Short Film Festival gears up for its opening on Friday, holding a press conference at Legend Premium Noro Mall to share its current milestones and features with partners. This is the Daily Roundup here on EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. I'm Darshana Gauchen. The 2022 ASEAN Chairman, Prime Minister Hun Sen, has shared three main features of Cambodia's experience in achieving peace. These include openness to negotiations, ensuring security for all parties, and autonomy for the countries involved. Addressing the opening ceremony of the 9th ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting at the Soka Hotel in Siem Reap on Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Hun Sen remarked on Cambodia's experience of more than 3 decades of civil war and said that the country can share its experience with others to potentially aid in the process of peacemaking, peace-building, peacekeeping, and post-war nation building.
ទី1 យើងត្រូវតែរក្សាទ្វារឲ្យចំហជានិច្ចសម្រាប់កិច្ចពិភាក្សានយោបាយនិងការចរចាប្រកបដោយបរិយាបន្ន ទី2 យើងត្រូវធានានូវសុវត្ថិភាពយុត្តិធម៌និងសុខុមាលភាពរបស់គ្រប់ភាគីទាំងអស់ ទី3 យើងត្រូវមានភាពម្ចាស់ការគណៈដែលកំពុងទទួលខុសត្រូវលើដំណើរការសន្តិភាពភាពជាម្ចាស់នៃប្រទេសជាតិពិតជាសំខាន់ណាស់សម្រាប់ការចរចាសន្តិភាព
The Prime Minister made these remarks while citing the scourge of civil war in Myanmar, the consequences of which are being felt across the ASEAN region. He added that 10 years ago, in 2012, the Prime Minister had asked ASEAN to consider the establishment of a no-civil war zone or no-conflict zone. However, at the time, no ASEAN member would consider this issue, which may have affected what is happening in Myanmar today. The current ongoing crisis in Myanmar began from a military coup on 1st February 2021, which saw the arrest of State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi, President Win Myint, and several other ruling party officials by the Myanmar Armed Forces. Refusing to recognize the results from Myanmar's national 2020 elections, the armed forces handed over the country's leadership to the Commander-in-Chief of the National Army, Min Aung Hlaing. The coup sparked widespread protests in Myanmar with numerous armed groups opposing the military regime. Myanmar is now a country with 2 governments and about 20 ethnic armed groups. The ongoing conflict is one of the longest continuing wars in the world. In Cambodia, it has now been 23 years since peace and national reconciliation was achieved. The country presently has national unity under a single government, following Prime Minister Hun Sen's win-win policy. Achieving peace has allowed the royal government to focus on developing the country to this day. The chairman of ASEAN in 2022, Prime Minister Hun Sen, has urged Southeast Asian nations to pay attention to health and climate security issues, as these issues are a major burden in the present and will continue to be in the future as well. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Speaking at the opening ceremony of the 9th Asian Defence Ministers meeting at the Soka Hotel in Siem Reap on Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Hun Sen said, "The COVID-19 pandemic is a wake-up call for us all to pay more attention to the health security. Climate security is another important issue that we need to mobilise more efforts and resources. Civil-military cooperation on all aspects of security is even more important. For the past 3 years, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused issues across the globe and in the ASEAN region, along with ongoing climate crisis that continues to cause global tensions. This month alone, 2 countries in Southeast Asia were hit by natural disasters, with Malaysia facing flash floods and Indonesia being hit by a devastating earthquake that has affected tens of thousands of lives." Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces and Commander of the Army, Lieutenant General Hun Manait, paid a courtesy call to the Minister of Defense of the Republic of India, Rajnath Singh, on Tuesday evening on the sidelines of the 9th ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting in Siem Reap. EAC News reporter Dekanin has further details.
Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh spoke about the relationship Cambodia and India have maintained from the past until the present day and reaffirmed that India will continue to strengthen and expand this good relationship for the common interest of both countries and peoples. He also expressed his full support for Lieutenant General Hun Manat's candidacy as the future Prime Minister of Cambodia. In response, Lieutenant General Hun Manat thanked the Indian government, army, and people for their support of Cambodia in difficult circumstances after the Khmer Rouge regime and during the process of building peace, becoming signatories of the Paris Agreement, and also sending peacekeepers under the United Nations umbrella to Cambodia. The Indian Defence Minister and the commander of the Cambodian army mutually agreed on the need to further strengthen and expand relations in all fields, especially people-to-people ties and defence cooperation, which must be maintained for the long term. Dekanin, EAC News.
The Secretary of State of the Ministry of Social Affairs, Veterans and Youth Rehabilitation, M. Chan Makara, has emphasized that the Ministry of Social Affairs and General Secretariat of the Disability Action Council are committed to ensuring that all women and girls, especially women and girls with disabilities, have equal rights, equal opportunities, and protections, and will also have their voices uplifted in the decision-making process. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Secretary of State M. Chan Makara expressed this commitment on behalf of the Ministry of Social Affairs, Vong Sut, during the training course of basic knowledge of the interconnection between gender and disability and negotiation skills for women with disabilities at the Sunway Hotel on Wednesday morning. The Secretary of State noted that the COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical tensions have led to rising inflation, which is affecting people's livelihoods. Although the COVID-19 situation has improved, some people in society have fallen under the poverty line and increasingly vulnerable to unemployment, health problems, malnutrition and other hardships that disproportionately affected women, especially women with disabilities. He added that the Royal Government of Cambodia has launched a social assistance program to meet the needs and improve the living conditions of people living in poverty. The government has mostly notably provided cash support to the poor and vulnerable families during the fight of COVID-19. The Royal Government has provided social assistance to a total of 706,060 poor and vulnerable families, including 64,709 families with disabilities, amounting to more than $800 million from the state budget. In addition, more than 8 billion real has been provided to pregnant women and children under the age of 2, including 185,229 pregnant women and 108,287 children under the age of 2. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara outlined how the Royal Government of Cambodia has also set out and ensured gender equality for women with disabilities, set in the government's 7th strategic direction with a clear vision of importance of gender equality and the empowerment of the women with disabilities, which is an effective way to achieve sustainable and inclusive development. In addition, he said that in recent years, the Ministry of Social Affairs have paved the way for the new and more open opportunities for women and girls with disabilities. In order to take full advantage of the National Disability Strategic Plan, this includes particularly creating skilled job opportunities for women and facilitating success of finance and training of women entrepreneurs to expand their businesses. The Secretary of State of the Ministry of Social Affairs and Secretary-General of Disability Action Council confirmed that the Royal Government will soon implement 2 more social assistance programs, a cash assistance program for vulnerable families facing inflationary pressures, and cash support for programs for flooded-affected families. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara also assured that the Ministry of Social Affairs clearly recognises that women and girls with disabilities around the world disproportionately face gender disability, discrimination, as well as poverty, violence and other forms of stigma, especially when compared to men without disabilities and women without disabilities in the Asian Pacific region. He said that in the National Disability Strategic Plan 2019 and 2023, in its 7th strategic direction, focuses entirely on gender issues and ending the use of violence against women and girls with disabilities, with the emphasis on the rights of women and girls with disabilities and preventing all forms of gender equality. He said, "I strongly believe that organising this training course will allow children of women with disabilities to participate, discuss, negotiate and look for support to make attending their full rights a reality, and led to the elimination of all forms of discrimination and violence. Senior officials of the Ministry of Social Affairs call on all citizens to increase awareness in the disability field and to especially work together to prevent all forms of violence against women and girls with disabilities so that Cambodia can become a country that is violence-free for all. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Secretary of State of the Ministry of Social Affairs, Veterans and Youth Rehabilitation and Secretary General of Disability Action Council, M. Chan Makara, has praised the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts for playing an important role in improving the living conditions of persons with disabilities in Cambodia. Speaking at a seminar on the dissemination of laws and regulations related to disability at the Ministry of Culture on Wednesday morning, Secretary of State M. Chan Makara, representing the Minister of Social Affairs, Vong South, said that the encouragement of the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts for persons with disabilities in Cambodia contributes to helping persons with disabilities live independently. He said that the organization of this workshop shows the attention the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts, especially the ministry's working group of persons with disabilities, pays to the implementation of the National Disability Strategic Plan 2019 to 2023. He added that persons with disabilities face many different obstacles in society, including discrimination and stigma. Persons with disabilities face these negative attitudes in all aspects of life, including in culture and fine arts. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara said, "If we can change the mindset of people who believe that disability leads to unhappiness and stop the association of negative perceptions with persons with disabilities, which creates stigma, discrimination, and denial, then culture and the fine arts can really contribute to making the dreams of persons with disabilities come true, making achieving equal rights a reality." In this regard, he outlined a number of factors that can contribute to addressing negative perceptions about disability, including raising disability awareness in the field of culture and fine arts among artists, poets, producers, owners of radio and television stations, and more, as well as promoting the honor and dignity of persons with disabilities and providing more opportunities in the field of culture and fine arts. In particular, the Secretary of State promoted the display of artwork, handicrafts, and other products made by persons with disabilities at various ceremonies of culture and fine arts. The Royal Government of Cambodia has set out a number of strategies to create opportunities for equal participation in social activities, including in the fields of culture, arts, religion, sports, recreation, and more, which will help to ensure the participation of persons with disabilities in all facets of society. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara further pushed for the mobilization of supplies and materials in the field of arts and culture for persons with disabilities. This includes organizing art groups and facilitating access for persons with disabilities to participate in cultural arts programs in television, film, theater, and other cultural activities, and creating arts programs and cultural activities to show the potential and skills of persons with disabilities. The Secretary of State also promotes the development of intellectual, artistic, creative, and sports talents among persons with disabilities, and the development of policies to reduce the costs of transportation, accommodation, food, and entertainment services to provide opportunities for persons with disabilities to manage leisure and tourism activities on their own. Secretary of State M. Chan Makara said, "Mobilizing resources to ensure the supply of cultural arts materials to persons with disabilities who have access to them is an indispensable point. Artistic grouping and facilitation for persons with disabilities to participate in arts and culture programs in television, film, theater, and other cultural activities is also included in the Disability Priority Plan."
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
The Chaktamuk Short Film Festival hosted its first press conference on Monday at Legend Premium Nora Mall to share the current milestones and features of this year's festival with all its partners who are supporting and anticipating the 11th edition beginning on 25th November. The press conference was attended by the festival director Som Siten, this year's international programmer Ruat Sansetni, Legend Premium Nora Mall's general manager Pan Pua, as well as numerous other partners, filmmakers, and actors. Festival director Som Siten remarked on the 5 main features of this year's CSFF, which are an increase in the number of local short film entries, an improved production quality throughout submissions, an increased number of awards and special mentions, special short films to open and close the festival, and a return to Cineplex screenings. Regarding short film entries, Siten stated that 55 out of 185 entries in total were selected for competition and showcase. Most notably, the festival received 36 local entries this year, which is an increase of 9 titles from last year, indicating that filmmakers in Cambodia have resumed making films after the COVID-19 pandemic. Siten also noted an overall improvement in production quality in this year's submissions, which included 2 selected titles that have already collected multiple awards across the globe. He said this shows that young Cambodian filmmakers continue to polish their craft and produce work that is worth festival recognition. A major update in this year's edition of CSFF is the expansion of awards and special mentions. The top prize of Best Cambodian Short Film will receive a $1,000 cash prize, while second place will receive $500 in cash and Best International Short Film will receive $300 in cash. Regarding special mentions, the Audience Award for Local Short Film will receive a $300 cash prize, while the Audience Award for International Short Film and the 2 special jury awards for local and international short films will receive certificates of appreciation as well. The festival director also highlighted that the opening of the 11th CSFF will host a special screening of the internationally acclaimed short film California Dreaming by independent female filmmaker Mia Sraylin. The closing, in turn, will also feature a screening of the short film Mother's Tongue by Jean-Baptiste Pua. All the short films selected for the festival will be screened in cinemas across Phnom Penh, including the Chaktamuk Conference Hall, Legend Premium Nora Mall, and major Cineplex by Smart Soria. Siten said these settings opened the door to a new era of CSFF, which was unable to screen its program in cinemas for the past 3 years due to the pandemic and other logistical issues. The general manager of Legend Premium Nora Mall, Pan Pua, said he really admires the efforts of the Sunflower Film Alliance for organizing this festival. He remarked on how even despite budgetary constraints, CSFF has now reached its 11th year, which is the same age as the Legend Cinema Group. He reaffirmed that his company will continue to promote and host screenings of Cambodian short and feature films. The 11th edition of CSFF will be officially held from 25th to 28th November 2022. For 4 days in a row, film lovers can catch screenings and attend festival events taking place at the Chaktamuk Theatre, Legend Premium Nora Mall, or major Cineplex by Smart Soria. CSFF this year is supported by a number of local institutions, including the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts, Ministry of Information, Cambodian Children's Fund, Purin Pictures, Legend Cinema, Major Cineplex, EAC News, and more. The festival continues to be open for further financial support in order to smoothly host its 11th edition, and is accepting donations through the Sunflower Film Organization's official ABA bank account. For more updates on CSFF, follow the festival's official social media platforms. EAC News, as an official media partner, will be covering the festival closely in the coming days. Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, you can check out our website, eacnews.asia, or search EAC News on Telegram, Smart TV, or at your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We will see you then.